It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good. I love you guys. But
Looking like J.D. Vance should have actually gone with some racism at his first campaign speech as Trump's running mate, because that was hard to watch. The Trump team might be looking into the return policy for their VP pick on this watch list.
now, where can I get a good fried bologna sandwich right now? All right, this is the guy who makes it. But I I'll tell you another story. That's right. He probably does have an IQ of 210, but don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. So, I love you guys. But so I just
J.D. Vance got his first shot at being behind the wheel, taking the Trump-Vance show on the road. And it went so badly, Fox News had to turn away from him driving full speed into that brick wall.
actually swimming at the swimming pool, and somebody brought over their phone and showed me the news that Joe Biden had.
All right, you've been listening to J.D. Vance giving his first solo speech since becoming Donald Trump's running mate. 9 days after the attempted assassination of the former president, a packed crowd there in his hometown, in his high school. John, a remarkable moment.
So remarkable, they couldn't take letting their viewers watch any more of it, out of fear that they'd turn to MSNBC for more compelling coverage of VP Harris's campaign launch. The ridicule and sudden momentum shift away from Republicans' idea of a successful convention has been felt across political circles so much, it's being reported that Trump is feeling some regret.
They had planned all along to have Biden, who 75% of the country thought was too old to be president. Now they don't have that argument anymore. And they had planned accordingly. Their resources were allocated accordingly. And, by the way, their vice presidential pick was planned according to that strategy. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's pretty clear that they've been caught flat-footed on this, because we know from reporting that they had just assumed that Biden was going to stick it out, and that's reflected in the J.D. Vance pick. I mean, that's very much a pick that was based on the notion that we got this in the bag. We're just going to appoint a VP pick that is going to appeal to the base. He's a MAGA pick, but adds no new votes outside of the MAGA base. And I think if they had to do it over again, they'd pick a different VP pick.
J.D. Vance, I agree, was a terrible pick because he didn't branch Trump out at all. And you will see some infighting there. I can promise you that.
Now, if these rumors are true, their chances of pulling this off without even more embarrassing conversations surrounding their inability to appeal to voters is slim, considering their vehement arguments on TV about how unfair and illegal it was for an aging and ailing Joe Biden to leave the race. We'll know if JD suddenly comes down with an inverse case of Benjamin Button and a nasty bout with COVID. What's really telling is that the decision to go with Vance looks like it was made by the Heritage Foundation, who's infamously behind Project 2025, which both Trump and Vance have tried to distance themselves from. But the president of that extremist right-wing group celebrated a little too hard when his guy was chosen. Remember this guy?
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Okay. We have confirmed news that Senator Vance is the vice presidential running mate. You will see a broad smile on my face because you may know that we're good friends. The entire list of names considered are great men and women, truly, truly, all of them friends of Heritage. There, among them, though, was someone that privately we were really rooting for, and he's just been named the running mate. Why were we rooting for him? Not even because of politics and policy, but because of who he is.
Staff writer for The Atlantic, Tim Alberta, also posted this. Most striking thing I heard from Trump allies yesterday was the second guessing of J.D. Vance, a selection, they acknowledged, that was born of cockiness, meant to run up margins with the base in a blowout rather than persuade swing voters in a nail-biter. Now, the worst part about that strategy is that even the bigoted base wasn't very happy with J.D. Vance, even before he even started droning on about fried bologna sandwiches and Diet Mountain Dew. Strong Trump supporter and white supremacist dinner date Nick Fuentes hates Vance for having what he calls a mixed-up family, and called out his mailed-in speech from the moment that he took the stage at the RNC.
To the daughter of South Asian immigrants to this country,
there you
incredible
go.
people who genuinely have enriched this country.
Going to tell the story
so
about the
ways.
Ohio cemetery,
and of course,
or
I'm
what?
biased because I love my wife and her family, but it's true.
He gave the same speech at
Now,
NACON.
when I proposed to my wife, we were in law school, and I said,
$120,000 college debt,
with $120,000
and a cemetery plot in East Kentucky,
and a cemetery plot on a mountainside in eastern Kentucky.
Seems like the cockiness was so extreme, Trump world didn't even care that JD had already been clocked as fake and phony by opponents for years, setting himself up to be dismantled in record time.
Like just a few weeks ago in Youngstown, on the stage, Donald Trump said to J.D. Vance, all you do is kiss my ass to get my support. He said that. That's bad, because that means J.D. Vance is going to do whatever he wants. Mitch McConnell's given him $40 million. He's going to do what he wants. And Peter Thiel gave him $15 million. He's going to do what he wants. And here's the thing that's most troubling about this, lack of courage, is that after Trump took J.D. Vance's dignity from him on the stage in Youngstown, J.D. Vance got back up on stage and said, started shaking his hand, take a picture, saying, hey, aren't we having a great time here tonight? I don't know anybody I grew up with, I don't know anybody I went to high school with that would allow somebody to take their dignity like that and then get back up on stage. We need leaders who have courage to take on their own party. And I've proven that, and he was called an ass kisser by the former president.
Damn, man. Many people wouldn't have it in them to watch someone kick them around on stage like that and not be waiting outside in the parking lot for them afterwards. But he did kneel to Trump after he called him an ass kisser, so Tim Ryan had nothing to worry about. Now, friend of the Watchlist, Trey Crowder, also had some revelations about JD that he's passing along recently. Y'all have to watch this.
You know, if you'd have told me when I was a kid that one day a white trash hillbilly would have a shot at the White House, I would have been like, what, like with a potato gun? Like, no, as the vice president. Oh, damn, that's wild. Tell me more about this hero. What was he, a man of the people, civil rights attorney? No, Ivy League educated venture capitalist who first rose to fame by selling us all out. Oh, well, that's disappointing. That's like telling a kid, hey, you're going to have a Mario-themed birthday, and on the day of, a fat Italian shows up drunk on mushrooms and kills his pet turtle. It's like, that's not what I thought you meant. I'm talking, of course, about J.D. Vance, who is now Trump's VP pick. You know, J.D. made headlines because he said Democrats were to blame for Trump's shooting because they compared Trump to Hitler. He also made headlines in 2016 for himself comparing Trump to Hitler. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but turns out Trump's VP pick is a Machiavellian sycophant with less integrity than a Boeing 737. That's right, but that's not the only way in which JD betrayed MAGA back in 2016. He also brought his wife to my comedy show and hung out at, I saw you loving all that woke shit, JD. You know you was into it. That's actually true, y'all. 2016, Trump rose, I went viral, JD's book came out. Me and JD started getting called on the cable news to explain Jim Bobs to bow ties, and we got to know each other a little bit. He came to my show, hung out afterwards, went to a bar. You want to know what we talked about? All we talked about the whole time was the existential threat we agreed Trump posed to the American people. That's right. So while I was not charmed by the man, in fact, it was like pounding beers with a spreadsheet, I did leave there thinking at least there's some sane Republicans left, right? After that, I finally got to his book. It's like, how did this book capture the zeitgeist of all the intelligentsia, right? Well, it turns out it's because that book's whole message is, hey, you know how y'all think that my people are inherently worthless pieces of shit with nothing to offer society? Well, you're right. We suck, but not me. I'm different. No, I once got paddled by a tycoon's son in Connecticut. Please accept me, right? And they did. And that's when my opinion of him started to change, because me and JD have stuff in common. White trash, pillbilly mamas, higher education got out, but I don't hate my people. Right? Like, I'd sooner throw it all away than line my pockets with predatory payday loans or big pill profits, okay? I understand that my people struggle not due to some inborn cultural affliction, but due instead to the capricious malice of the same masters he serves, right? Because you look at him, you wonder, how did this guy, what does he do? What is he good at? Well, JD's great, actually. He's great at one thing. He's great at knowing when, where, and to what precise angle he should bend over. Nobody tongue polishes a boot heel like this All right, the only reason any of us know who JD is because he is bought, paid for, and wholly owned by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, the billionaire whose current pet project is military AI. So yeah, if you thought Dick Cheney and Halliburton was bad, you just wait till my boy Jim Dave unleashes his sugar daddy's armada of autonomous murder drones on Gaza. All right, JD Vance, love y'all.
Man, this is devastating, and a very clear reminder that Trump didn't care who his running mate was, as long as he was confident that he'd have one less moral principle than his previous vice president, who failed him on January 6th. But now that he's proven that when you choose someone with no soul, they have a little bit of trouble relating to humans, it's a lesson that even JD was relieved they forgot to read up on.
We have some press in the background for the next 10 minutes here, so I have to be careful here. I don't want to give anything away for what I'm going to say tonight. I joke with the president that, I'm very excited about this evening, and I don't plan to screw it up. But if I do, it's too late. He made the pick, right? It's official now.